Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna go ahead and get the hood hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and take the old hood. We're gonna get everything off of the old hood. We're gonna take off the sequential custom lights that I made for that guy. We're gonna take off the harness. I wanna take apart the harness as well, kind of see how that's put together and to make a new one. So that way we get rid of all the old wiring and it just hooks up straight into the new lights that I created. So let's take a look at how the old hood is put together. Okay, so here's the 1968 hood, and we have the hood vents here. And with these guys, it has on mine it has the sequential light installed already here. This one I don't have it installed over there on that side, so that's gonna be easy to take off. We're gonna take off these vents as well and put them on the old one. On the new one. And on this side, I already started taking it apart, but over here is one of the lights. This wiring is just really super old. There's two fasteners here that hold it there. There's another fastener on this side. There was another one that was holding it here. We're gonna take that off as well. Here's the other light socket. A fastener here. It goes into the hood, then it comes out of the hood down here. And there's a fastener and a ground wire. And then another ground wire there, and then it hooks up into the harness here. Okay, so let me go ahead and unplug this real quick. There we go. All right, you see that? So we're gonna take this off. We're gonna get that guy off. We're gonna take this off, take off all the fasteners, get it all uninstalled. Let's take off the harness first. Right, so I got all the fasteners off. Here's the harness here. Here's the harness here. All I have to do is get it from here, pull it out there. Let's see here, this is a little slow. And there it is. That's everything. I think I lost the fastener in there, but that's okay. All right, guys, so here we are. We got the harness here on the table, kitchen table. I think my wife is gonna be too happy, but it's nice and cool in here. So here's the plug to the car harness. Then it comes up, here's your ground wire. Here's your second ground wire. Then after that, basically, is just the two lights. Now, on these guys, this is a 1156 bulb. So what that means is there's only one connector, right? And there's only one filament in here. So it's just on. It's not like the 1157s. And what you do is you basically just push in and you turn, and that's how they go in there. So this is the socket here. Let's pull the light bulb out again so you can see. Here we go. It's a very simple socket, as you can see here. So this is what gets plugged into the housing on the hood. And then actually the wire actually just goes up inside there. And you have on the inside, there's a spring. So we can get that spring out of there. There we go. So there's a spring here, right? And the terminal. And that goes in the middle. So when you push down on the bulb, it pushes that terminal down and you can lock it. And then what happens is this guy here on the surround actually grounds the wire, the bulb to the hood. So the terminals on this bulb here, here's the positive, and here are the two negatives. So the negatives ground to the outside, this grounds to the hood, and this goes for your power. So what's interesting is that you have essentially a very, very simple circuit. So the hood is grounded, and you have positive electricity going to the guy here. And so when you turn it on, the pump, you know, switches it on, and your ground is going to be from the hood. So I want to recreate this cable. This thing is super old, you know, 50 years or so. So what I want to do is I want to kind of take it apart, because I'm not exactly too sure. We have two wires here, two hookups here, right? That go into the car harness. And my question is, if I got two terminals here, and I have a left and right, and I have a left and right here, where are these grounds going? And how does it ground to the car? So that's my question. So let's go ahead and take this thing apart, and I'll see how I'm gonna recreate it. Okay, so I took off that installation part, and this is very interesting. So this wire here that I saw were the two grounds, one that was hooked up to the back of the cowl, and the other one was hooked up to the actual hood itself, this guy. So that's all it is. All it is just a connector for grounding, going from one part of the car to the other. It has nothing to do with the circuit pretty much at all. It's just an extra ground for that. So that makes this wiring harness super, super simple. Really the only thing I would need to keep would be the ends, if I wanted to go ahead and keep the original stock configuration, but honestly I don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and create a new one of these, and I want to go ahead and hook up my custom sequential turn signals on these guys. So let me get all my parts out, and we'll start putting that together. The good thing is I'm going to be using LEDs, so there's a lot less power that's going to be used in a power draw on these. So I'm going to use 18 gauge wire, which should be just fine for this. So what I'm going to do first is, honestly, like I said, there's only two wires to this. One goes to one bulb and the other one goes to the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull pull the length of this all the way out first and get that measurement. Here we go. I'm telling you, when you're working on this kind of stuff, it's always best to get the tools that you need. So I got some really good wire strippers here. Good stuff. So let me go through the parts first. So we got the wire, which is essential. And then also what I've done, I went ahead and on one of my last videos, I talked about creating a new housing that's gonna go into the light assembly on the hood. And for this guy, I went ahead and printed it out, 3D printed it. I went ahead and sent it out to get printed because I don't have a resin printer. This guy is a very high heat resistant plastic. And so this is the actual housing that I created, which is basically identical to the other. And I have my little Negan's garage on there. That's pretty cool. But I went ahead and embossed that on there. So this is the housing assembly, and I have my lights here. So let's check these guys out. There we go. And so when you're installing these guys, you know, on the other one, it has some, you know, like a gasket that goes around it as well. And then sometimes when you're installing the one from Scott Drake, it comes with a sealant, you know, that you put in there too, I think. You don't need that with these. So they're already watertight. You don't have to worry about any of that. And you just get them into your car. All right. So these two guys are ready to go. So the next thing we need to put together would be the actual end of the connector, the terminal, which is this guy, right? That goes to your car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just snip this off. I'm gonna go ahead and just reuse this one. I have another one, but I'm just gonna no, you know what? I'll put a new one on there. Let's put a new one on. I'm gonna cut that off. I'm only gonna need one. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one it is because they're both the same and just the wires are crossed, but that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna use one, and if we look at the original, so I have the white one is usually the covered one, right? The male is positive and the female is negative, usually on your car harness connectors. But on this one, it really doesn't matter because they're both positive. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch it this way, so that way I have white is gonna be yellow and green is gonna be white on this one. On the next one that I make, that I put up for sale on eBay, that guy I'll have the opposite. But all you have to do is just plug it in and you should be okay. So I shouldn't have a problem with that. Okay, so I did figure something out here. So since there are two, right, you're gonna have a left and right. So what I figured out is the male terminal is going to be your right signal, and the female is going to be your left turn signal. Okay, so make sure you don't get that wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my right is going to be my red wire, because I'm going to have black and red now. So my right is going to be my red and my black is going to be my left. And then the same thing with my turn signals that I created over here. I got to make sure I put them on the right side so that way I don't get those confused and mixed up. Okay, so after I get this all hooked up, I have a 12 volts power supply that I hook up to this guy just to make sure everything's wired correctly before I start to solder and put everything together. So I error check all this stuff too. So let's go ahead and get this put together. So again, my male is going to be my right. So I'm gonna make that red and black for my left. And so let's get that hooked up to this guy. There we go. So now we have our connector on there, and this guy is waterproof and it's soldered together too. So I really like those connectors. They're great stuff. So next thing to do is to measure this out and to cut to length what I need for the two lights now. So let's start back with this guy. From here, let's say that's gonna be one here. So let's go backwards. So from there, cut back to about right there. All right. Of course, this is all exact science, right? So I'm gonna leave a little bit extra just in case. So I'm gonna cut it about right there, right here. There we go. And so this is gonna be my left one. And this is going to flash this way because here's the wire here. So it's gonna flash out. Okay, so this is my left one. Here's the right one. This one's gonna flash right because it has the wire on the left side. So let me go ahead and grab my 12 volt adapter and get that plugged in, and I'll show you how the lights work, and we'll go ahead and connect that stuff and we'll go from there. Okay, so if you wanna do this stuff yourself, it's not that bad. This guy here is actually a Xbox power adapter that I went ahead and re-rigged. I got the instructions off of a guy called Flyrider online. So now I have a positive and negative terminal for 12 volts. So I'm gonna test any lighting, LEDs, all the sequential stuff that I do, you know, and all the custom stuff. I use this stuff. So I use this thing. It's really nice. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm gonna show you how this works again. So here is there we go, negative and positive. It's so much easier if I had alligator clips on these guys. There we go, check that out. Nice, huh? All right, so what we wanna do is go ahead and hook this guy up here to my new harness. Move that out of the way so I don't mess that up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this kind of short. I'm gonna go probably about, let's say about a couple inches here. Separate these two. And then I'm gonna need to strip this. There we go. These are very fine wires, but of course they don't take a lot of electricity. There we go. Twist those up. And of course these are going to be in the connectors that I have, which are solder as well. So that's a good thing. Okay, so this is what hooks onto the car. Again, your male is going to be your right turn signal, and your female is going to be your left turn signal. And this guy goes through the hood and up into the hood, and here we go. So this guy here is your left, and here's your right turn signals. So let's deal with the grounds now. On the ground, it doesn't have to, you don't have to have a separate ground for each one. You can have one ground for each, you know, just as we saw just on the hood. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just run another wire from this guy, this kind of come along all the way around over to this guy, and we'll hook it up to this one as well. And then we'll run it down and then put that on something like the original. So the original has these guys, right? These terminal connectors. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up one of those to this, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's go ahead and grab this wire. I have some other wire I want to use for that. It's gonna be so I don't waste that. There we go. So now we can test this guy. Let's see here. Let's grab this. Okay, so we have our 12 volts. We have our power terminals. And we have our ground now here. So let's just connect the grounds together first. There we go. Let's test one of the powers. There we go. Hey, all right. So that one there, again, was our right turn signal. You see that how it's longer? So there's our right and our left. There's our left. Alrighty. So the last thing we have to do is get this hooked up into the car, but I'm gonna get this hooked up into the new hood, so that way I don't have to mess with the old one anymore. So let me go ahead and tape this off here real quick. There we go. All right, so car terminal, going all the way back up. Here's our right turn signal here, our left turn signal here, and our ground wire that leads all the way back down to where it's going to be hooked onto the cowl. That's what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna go ahead and just hook this guy up to the cowl so I don't have any problems with the ground. Okay, to take out these hood vents, there's some nuts on these screws here. We're gonna take those all of these off, and this whole vent should just pop right out. There we go. And voila. So here they are. Those came out nice and easy. All right. Make sure those are still on. Now they do screw in here as well. These studs screw in. So I took two off, but I'll screw those studs back in. And install this guy on the new hood. Well, we'll clean these up first. So let me go ahead and get the other one off, and we'll clean them up and install them on the new hood. Okay guys, I went ahead and cleaned these guys up, the hood vents, and installed them on the new hood. And I gotta say, these look really nice on here. Check these out. Man, that gold on that black actually doesn't look too bad. Too bad that's that anti-rust coating, it's just the black. But here, check out on the back. I went ahead and I'll show you. Just putting those bolts back in, and the nuts as well. The same thing on the other side. So there we go. I'm telling you, I really like the way it's coming out. The hood looks great. We're gonna get this hood installed. We're gonna take off the old hood. We'll put the new hood on. Get the trunk as well. I'm gonna put on the chrome accent that goes here as well to match the grille, and have that on the next video. Hey, thanks for watching. I know it was kind of a long video, I'm putting that harness together, but hopefully that helped you guys. I'm gonna have those up on eBay as well for you if you just want to go ahead and purchase them for the 1968 hood turn signals. They're gonna be sequential. Plug and play, so you just plug those in, hook up the ground, and you're good to go. So on the next video, we'll go ahead and get the hood installed, and we'll see you on the next one. You'll take it easy.